Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from the West Fork Whiskey Company. This is their high rye straight bourbon whiskey, coming in at a 45% ABV, at least 3 years old. Now, for full disclosure, this bottle was given to us by the West Fork Whiskey Company to take a look at and a review, so just keeping that transparency open. Now, the West Fork Whiskey Company is actually based out of Westfield, Indiana. And this is part of their Grain to Glass series, which is all distilled, bottled, and made up in-house versus sourcing this side. Their source side is all through Old Hamer itself. So very two distinctive brands on that, so no confusion. Plus, West Fork Whiskey Company is doing something that I truly love, and that's being transparent about what they're doing. And on the back of their bottle, you can actually see everything. They tell us on the back this is a 3-year-old plus bourbon. On top of that, they do tell us the mash bill, which is 73% corn and 27% rye, which is kind of uncommon. Most places still toss in a bit of barley on those kind of things. So I got to give them credit for stepping out of that box on it. Now, I've had my fair share of their bottles personally. I'm a big supporter of what they do. I've been buying up a lot of their bottles because I love supporting local brands to Indiana. There's a lot of people that don't realize what's in your backyard when it comes to craft spirits, and that's one thing I love talking about when it comes to the West Fork Whiskey Company. So, with all that information, let's go ahead and jump into the bottle itself. As always, we're going to be trying it two different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And where's the pull tab? There it is. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some other bottles that I've reviewed from the West Fork Whiskey Company, they'll be linked up above and down below. I'll also be linking to their website and their Sailbox website as well, so you can check out the bottles, possibly order things depending on what their stock looks like at the time. But either way, you need to check them out. Alrighty. Beautiful. Dark amber. I mean, that is almost... yeah, that looks almost like a dark rum almost. Beautiful on the color. Alrighty, let's go for notes. Right away, you get a lot of that sweet buttery corn going on. A little dustiness from that. But the rye spiciness bringing to the table. It's a little herbal. You get a little bit of that black tea going on. As you keep going back to the glass, I'm getting a bit more of the charriness from the oak. Almost a dark oak wood sugar note going on. And a bit of the caramel in there as well. Nice brown sugar. That's what it is. There's a bit of brown sugar. I was looking for the caramel vanilla mix, and it's coming across a bit more brown sugar for me. The big component here is that rye. It's bringing across the herbal, the black tea, and that beautiful cinnamon stick going on. You get almost, I don't want to really say a rye bread, but there is a rye grain spiciness in here. Teetering close to something like a rye bread. But there is a sweet kind of vanilla icing going on in there, kind of breaking things up and really making it inviting. There's no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. Really solid nose. Let's go for a taste. Right away, the sweet buttery corn plays so well with that spiciness and herbal of that rye. They interweave to each other. So you get a bit of sweet corn, and then you get that rye spice. And then you're getting a little corn dustiness, and then you're getting that cinnamon stick with a little bit of that oversteeped black tea. Then the barrel comes in, bringing across that charry richness that you want from a good solid bourbon. Clings to the palate to a T, and then you're just left with that kind of wood sugars, the spices, and that little bit of butteriness from that corn. The spices that dance on the palate comes across pepperiness and almost deep oakiness. Like it teeters almost, I wouldn't quite say like a double oaked product, but kind of a lightly toasted product, because you're just getting this deeper impact from that oakiness on it than your casual bourbon that you run across. To be honest, this is a great example of a bourbon drinker's rye. You're still getting a lot of those solid bourbon notes that you know and love, but that rye spiciness that's going on in here, it's a great stepping stone before you get into like 51% rye or higher, because you're kind of getting a little out of the wheelhouse for a solid bourbon at that point, obviously, because they're straight ryes. But here, you're just getting those kind of great balancing act going on. Alrighty. Add a little drop of water, see if anything changes up here. Might help us find some additional notes, might let us know how well it'll do in a cocktail. Alrighty, we got that drop of water spun around in here, so let's go for notes. Ooh. Red apple sweetness now. Orchard sweet. Yeah, there are a lot of red apple, just like a freshly sliced, juicy red apple. Ooh, I like that. And almost getting a little sugary sweet in there now. Oh, getting more spices in here. Deeper oakiness. Oh, that's really turning out nice. This is curious. I'm almost getting, my brain's wanting to go like sugar floss. I don't know why, but like a sugary sweetness mixed in there with the red sweet apples. I love that. Still no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. That nose is beautiful. All right, let's go for a taste. To be honest, it drinks even more like a bourbon at that point. You're still getting a lot of those great solid oaks, the vanillas, the caramels, a little bit of brown sugar in there. And then your rice spiciness is kind of in the background a little bit more. Getting a little bit of the black tea, a little bit of the herbalness in there. That sweetness I was finding on the nose is kind of peeking through on the taste as well. It's not, actually, that's really nice. It'll do pretty well in a cocktail, I feel. Let's go back to the neat one here. That's got all your oaky, that's got all your oakier characteristics to it. The charriness, the more balanced nuances that we're finding in the neat version. But that's really solid. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. This is definitely one that I'd recommend maybe experimenting with and bring out some really interesting, unique profiles to it. So, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So, you can actually find this at their distillery itself or around the area in Indiana. Typical spread on this tends to be about $32 all the way up to $40. And to be honest, I think it's a phenomenal bottle. They're being transparent. We got a 3-year age statement on here, using a fairly unique mash bill. Coming from an Indiana distillery, doing it themselves. I can't fault anything in that glass. It's a beautiful sip. And again, if you're a bourbon drinker that's going, maybe I'm looking for something a little different, or I'm looking to maybe step into rye whiskeys, this is perfection for that, because you're going to get all those oaky bourbon notes that you love with that little bit of twist and rye in there. So in my opinion, grab this one. I can see this being a shelf-stable bottle for so many people just because it's a great profile to it. And again, if you're interested in learning more about the West Fork Whiskey Company, links to their websites will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. The West Fork Whiskey Company High Rye Straight Bourbon Whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, I really like it. Might